wasn't here. I don't know. You was talking about the rights of the husband.
The rights of the wife over the husband.
Okay.
Sit up, beloved. Jazakallah khairan.
You was talking about the rights of the husband. Did you speak about the rights of the wife? I mean, the husband over the wife.
Which one, beloved?
Did you speak on it, brother?
Tahib. Question is regarding, you said that there are rights of the wife. What about the rights of the husband? Huh, Yassine? We say that, alhamdulillah, we did what, Nafis? A 6-hour conference on that. It's only one enough. 6-hour conference, which is, I'll tell you, no problem, beloved. And that is, the husband has the following rights over the wife. Number one is that she obey him in all which is ma'ruf. Anything that's not haram, it is not against the Quran and the Sunnah. It doesn't have to be obligatory. It doesn't have to be recommended. As long as it's not haram. Number two is that she make herself available for his pleasures and desires, as long as she is not sick or in a situation which is difficult and a hardship upon her. Number three, she protect his wealth. Number four, she respect his house, his home. And no one that he does not approve of is to enter into his house. No one. If he says, do not allow this person to my house, they're not allowed to come into what? His house. She is to protect his secrets. She is to look after his children. She is to honor him and respect him. Those are the general rules of the rights of the husband over the wife. And obviously, Khalil, this is very important because many people, they're one-sided, no doubt. Brothers, they'll only mention their rights. Sisters will only cry and beg about their rights. That's it. We get oppressed. We're looked down upon. We don't. It goes what? Both ways. Seesaw. It goes up and it goes down. Both ways. Men have rights. Women have rights. وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ وَاللَّهُ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Allah says in the second chapter, Surah Al-Baqarah, وَلَهُنَّ, little translation, and for women, for them, وَلَهُنَّ, for them, مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, similar things that are upon them. In other words, women have rights over them, just like they have rights for them. Women have rights for them, just like they have rights over them. Allah says, وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ, but men have a level above. Yes, men have a level above. If you don't accept that, that's fine. That's your discretion. Yawm al-Qiyamah, you can take that up with Allah, Rabbul Alameen. Why men have a higher status. Tafaddali. Have fun. That's your soul. If you don't accept it, it doesn't make sense, it's unfair, that's fine. But if you want to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those are his words. So therefore, men have a rank, they have a rank above women. What does that mean? What does that necessitate? Does it mean you can become a tyrant, beat up your wife, oppress your wife is your slave? Does not mean that. It does not mean that. Allah says, bil ma'ruf, in an honorable manner. So don't ask your wife for anything that's unreasonable. And vice versa, the same applies as well. We respect each other. We have reason, common sense with each other. You have feelings, just like I have feelings. You have desires, just like I have desires. When you look at your wife as your sister in Islam, everything becomes easier. Don't forget, you may not be married forever, but she's still your sister. She's a believer just like you're a believer. She has a black spot, a black mark on her head like you do. You pray like she does. She prays like you does. So treat her like a believer and treat your husband like a believer as well. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. You can't be a believer until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. Do you want your wife to do that? Would you like if your wife to ask you that? Would you like to be disrespected and treated in that way? So oftentimes we as human beings are selfish. We're very selfish creatures. And oftentimes the stupidity of the human being doesn't realize that when you're selfish and when you're self-centered, in most cases it ends up in you suffering as well. And when you share and when you're generous, it's for your benefit in the long run. But the human being is foolish. Wallahu alam. Clear, beloved?